Sister Kate here. So this video is going to be about midlife crisis. I noticed that many of you are in the same age bracket as I am, which I think is smart and makes sense. So midlife crisis is where people hit their 40s, when your physical, attributes are going to start showing signs of aging, when your eyes are going to start not being as good, and for the first time maybe you'll need glasses or you'll need bifocals. You'll probably gain some weight. It's a time in your life, in one's life, when your life, technically is like halfway over. And it's a time for a lot of people, when they hit it, to assess or reassess the success of their life. If you got married in your 20s, your children are suddenly becoming, or now becoming adults in whatever way. You may have a few kids, or depending on how many kids you have, some kids it's still in diapers, but your oldest is probably around 20 years old. And the crisis part comes when people who look back on the last 20 years and look at what they're doing in the present are not happy with what they see. If you're not being successful, if you haven't made smart decisions, and now when you hit 40, the next 40 years in front of you look pretty rocky and iffy, that's when many people just kind of lose it, and they do things like go into debt and go on some cruise they can't afford, or decide they don't like the vehicle they have and go out and buy that red Corvette they can't afford, to sort of make up for or change the course, or in reaction to what they've been doing the last 20 years. And it's also a time, if you get to that spot and you don't like what's going on, you can still change it. You still have enough drive and energy and health at 40 to make the changes, to make the next 40 years be easier and successful for you. What sort of things do you want in your later years? You want stability, you want security, you want your health. If you're smoking or you're vastly overweight, 40 is a really good time to put a stop to that behavior and get on a health kick. And you do see people do that. You see people do that even before then, when they see a picture of themselves, or maybe they just had their 40-year health appointment with their doctor, and he tells them, hey, you're looking kind of iffy. Your blood pressure's too high, or your lungs don't sound great, or whatever. It is certainly a time when you can decide you want to go back to school and get a degree, change your career. And one thing that happens during midlife crisis that doesn't necessarily have to happen is the person who has the crisis looks at their spouse and relates their spouse to what has happened in the last 20 years. It's a reminder to them, or whatever, or they blame their spouse for the non-success they've had. And so many people's marriages break up around the 15, 18, 20-year anniversary. And the spouse looks for someone different, younger, different perspective to then try to spend the next 40 years with. And that's not something that necessarily has to happen either, especially if you hit your crisis and decide you're going to improve. Instead of ditching the person who's faithfully been with you the last 20 years, this is a time to energize them, and you both make those significant changes together. And it's better for your mental health and your stability to stay in your marriage and not break it up at that time. So these are just some of my thoughts. Suggestions are, if you're not at your midlife crisis yet, see that it's coming and take steps to make sure when you hit it, everything looks good to you and you're happy with the decisions you've made. If you're near it, understand what it is so you can control what's happening, and don't explode your life just because you didn't like what you did the first 20 years. Don't completely throw everything away. Reassess and head off in a good new direction. Successful, stable, secure. If you're past it, like me, hopefully you're living in the, basking in the glow of the smart decisions you made in your past. And if you didn't, you're probably now juggling all these messes that have happened. You can still take time and say no to things and redirect and make sure that your 60s and 70s and 80s are happy, content times for you. All right, bless you. Hope this helps. Shalom. If you like the video, please share it with your friends. In the little box somewhere around here will be a link to my channel. That's what you can share. I would appreciate that. Also, somewhere in a little box up here will be a video related to the one you just watched, in case you want to see another one like it. And a recommendation for another channel that I think may be useful to you if you found my video useful to you. I appreciate my subscribers a whole lot, and I really, really like comments. So please comment if you have one. No comment is too big or small or silly. Bless you all. Shalom.